Martin Scorsese's star-studded The Irishman follows Robert De Niro's hitman Frank Sheeran and his life working under Teamsters union president Jimmy Hoffa, played by Al Pacino, while simultaneously working under his mentor, the mob boss Russell Bufalino, played by Joe Pesci. Jimmy Hoffa had a working relationship with the mafia, giving them loans from the Teamsters pension fund under his terms. When Hoffa is sent to prison for jury tampering, the Teamsters are run by Frank Fitzsimmons, whom the mob prefer as they find it far easier to extract union funds from Fitz, as he's a pushover. When Hoffa returns from prison, much to the dismay of the mob, he tries to run again for the presidency, and the mob's active discouragement only strengthens his resolve, and Hoffa's threats to expose the Teamsters' connections with the mob sours the relationship between him and the men he worked with for years, and eventually, Hoffa's threats, his insults, his ego, and the fact that he just wasn't needed anymore meant that he had to go, and the order was given for the former Teamsters boss to be taken out. The job of doing this is given to Frank Sheeran, one of the many reasons being that he's one of the few men who can get close enough to Hoffa to take him out, seeing as though the two are so close. When Russell Bufalino tells Frank what it is, you can see that the usually stoic and hard Sheeran is close to breaking. There's a hint of tears, but he holds them back. Bufalino knows how close Sheeran is to Hoffa. He knows what effect this is having, but the only other option would be to send both Hoffa and Sheeran to Australia. After the diner scene where Russell tells Frank he'll be the one to kill Hoffa, there are no words spoken in the film throughout Frank boarding the plane, landing in Detroit, driving to the house where the hit is about to be carried out, until he meets and greets Sally Bugs. The only word spoken is a short, simple instruction given by Russell to Frank while the duo are sitting in their car next to the plane. Frank parks up, Russell takes a look at him and says, "Give me your glasses." And Frank obliges without question, takes a final look at Russell and gets out of the car to proceed with his mission. So why exactly did Russell take Frank's glasses? It's not something that's ever referenced again, aside from when Frank returns from the hit and in complete silence is handed back the glasses by his boss. No explanation is ever given for this slightly unorthodox scene, so let's take a look at it and see if we can come up with a reason. Of course, not every little thing in a movie has a hidden meaning behind it. The Irishman is, after all, a film filled with actors known for improvisation. Maybe this was something Joe Pesci thought of on the spur of the moment, something he felt like doing, to assert his character's dominance over Frank, and they left it in the film. Maybe there is quite literally no explanation for this scene, and it's just in the film because the filmmakers wanted to capture a sense of real life. In other words, reality is full of people doing things for the sake of it. Or maybe Scorsese just put this scene in to mess with audiences. Give us something that'll drive us crazy, so a couple of years later, a YouTuber who really should get a life by now makes an entire video on a 5-second clip from this film. But let's speculate. I doubt this is a case of Russell experiencing a first world problem, where he's accidentally left his sunglasses back in the hotel and wants Frank's sunglasses while he waits so he doesn't have the sun in his eyes. One reason could be that Russell taking Frank's glasses is a sign to him that he has something to come back to. Let's not forget, discussions about killing Frank as well as killing Jimmy were had. Russell confirms this, and seconds after Frank kills Jimmy, he looks up to see if anyone is going to jump out to finish him off. It's a thought always lingering in the back of Frank's head, that after he takes care of Jimmy, he'll be taken care of. And Russell taking his glasses is a subtle way to reassure him that that won't be the case, that I'll give you back your glasses when you come back, that you're going to come back on the plane, come back and put on your glasses, come back and go to your wife, etc. i.e., this is not a one-way trip. Another reason could be that Russell wanted to look into Frank's eyes when he came back, which he did, by the way, if you rewatch the scene, in order to see whether he actually went through with the execution. He isn't going to blurt out, "Did you do it, Frankie?" That isn't Russell's way, and mob guys never talk direct anyway in case of wiretaps. The eyes are the windows to the soul, and Russell knew that Frank was shaken by the order, that he was close to Jimmy, and Jimmy was close to him and his family, especially his daughter Peggy. This was a different kind of hit, a personal one that would test Frank's limits, and maybe there was a hint of doubt in Russell's mind, and he needed to be sure that Frank actually had it done. And sticking with the eyes being the windows of the soul, for Frank to turn up and meet Hoffa with doubt, fear, or hesitancy in his eyes, Hoffa would have picked up the signals right away if Frank's eyes betrayed him. And there's even a short scene where the duo look deep into each other's eyes, and it appears Hoffa is trying to gauge or wordlessly ask Frank if this is a setup or if everything is okay. This means that Frank would have to be completely resolute and firm in his resolve to kill Hoffa, and that means not hiding behind any shades. I do believe that there is an actual reason for the sunglasses scene. According to film producer and director Michael Schlesinger, he asked the Irishman editor, Thelma Schoonmaker, about this scene, and she said that it is common for hitmen to wear dark glasses when they're on the job, because it reduces the chance of witnesses being able to identify them. Russell would have known then for Frank to show up with his glasses on could tip the already paranoid and irate Hoffa into working out that something is up and refusing to ultimately get into the car. Hoffa himself has probably sent Frank on a few hits, so he would most likely know Frank's demeanor and methodology of killing. Wearing no glasses and being able to look Hoffa in the eye would put the man at ease to get into a car with one of Tony Pro's men. So there you have it. It's an interesting little scene and one with multiple possible interpretations. Why do you think Russell took Frank's glasses? Let me know in the comments below, subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.